Hey, Harold, what did you think of this interview?
I thought it was good. Good to be with everybody. I thought it was good. I will say, $55 billion is not a lot of money in the scheme of things when you look at government.
And then they wonder why they lost. Right there shows you everything you need to know. And see, I watch news everywhere. You know, it's CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News, and they got a whole bunch of crazy people on there. But this show in particular, The Five, is just a great way. The whole setup, the way they do it is great. And they always have a left-wing nut job on there like Jessica or even Harold. And Harold's a little bit more, this guy that was just talking, is a little bit more even keel. But even somebody like that, knowing what took place the last 4 years, the country going straight in the hole, to literally just stand and say, I'm going to vote willingly for Kamala to continue the same thing, let you know where he's at. So he's still even keel, but still crazy because he's willing to vote for the same thing. But look at this in its whole entirety. It's really quick right here. Check this out and watch what he finishes up with.
And the president has no problem sharing credit. And I like the idea that Elon had of possibly, if they reach $2 trillion, I think, rebate checks to the American people and the amount of $5,000. I mean, they're just thinking out loud, and it's refreshing.
Okay, Harold, what did you think of this interview?
I thought it was good. Good to be with everybody. I thought it was good. I will say, $55 billion is not a lot of money in the scheme of things when you look at government. It's less than 0.2% of our federal
55
debt.
million more than Joe Biden returned.
You finished?
Done.
It's $55 billion. Don't get me wrong, I'm for that. I am for rooting out the waste, fraud, and abuse. But in the real world, I just wouldn't take a victory lap this early. I think if you're going to, I was looking for Mr. Musk to not only identify areas where there are waste, fraud, and abuse, but give me areas where we can be more efficient.
And that's why nothing will ever change for the Democrat Party. He's only been there about roughly a little over 4 weeks now, right? With all this stuff going on, all the court cases they have to do, and still they found well over the 55 billion. And what number would appease him? Does you want to hear 500 billion? Is that enough? Or 600? What number will get you to be like, okay, some great things are happening? This is just a couple weeks in, and this is already what they found with all this crazy stuff with the transgender in Peru and stuff in Somalia and India for elections. We can go on. And Trump has been naming this stuff off and showing. But you see what he said there at the end, even with all of that, 55 billions, and that's not that much money. These people are crazy. And then he piggybacks on top of that to say, we need some fresh ideas, basically. He can tell us where we can do cuts and savings. He's showing you right there, all of this stuff needs to be gone. Then we can refine the system even more. And you're going to get into Social Security, the Pentagon. They're right now with the IRS. You're going to see all of these people. There's illegals on Social Security. The IRS has all these crazy amounts of money that they're just willingly just giving to people. And they know exactly what they're doing. That's why all these Dems are out there singing and crying and screaming to the top of the hills, because they know they got their dirty hands all. I'm sure there's Republicans as well. They're just a little more on the low about it. But they have all of their hands got caught in the cookie jar. And you're going to be able to trace all of this stuff back. Some of it, a lot of it's, I think he said like 4.7 trillion is just completely untraceable, which is just a mind-boggling number. And that we'll get to that another later day. But this money, some of this, you're going to be able to track back and see exactly who got it. I saw something even with Stacey Abrams that she had $2 billion hidden for her little pat or something going on in Georgia. These people will slowly get exposed because they're not going to get away with this. And this is why they're screaming with it. And somebody that I do trust on Fox News, Jesse, tells them simply right here.
Harold, first of all, $55 billion is a lot of money, okay?
Not
and
the
they
scheme of
haven't
the
even
budget. I
upgraded
hear
the
you.
software yet. The software is from the 60s.
That's right.
Once they upgrade the software, you'll streamline it and you'll save money.
Like, where are you at in your mind where you think 55 billion is no money? Remember when they were fighting Trump over the wall, and I believe it was way less. It was like 5 billion or 4 billion, I don't know exact number, but right around there. And they were screaming, talking about they didn't have the money for that. But they'll willingly lay down and give 200 plus billion to Ukraine and all these foreign lands that people can't even spell, let alone find on a map. But that this is why they lost, and this is why they will continue to lose. Because you go on TV and say, so what's $55 billion? So what? Show me something else. No, what about the fraud? They're showing you all of this stuff that's, you're not pissed about 21 million to India for some election BS? Or some transgender play in Peru? These are not small dollar amounts. You have to go, just like if you were trying to go into your account and say, man, oh, I'm spending this much on Netflix. I'm spending this much on this, on the PlayStation Network or Xbox, or I'm spending this much on fast food or whatever. You need to go line by line. It doesn't matter if it's a small amount or a large amount. It will add up in the end of the day. And that's why even at this, they're well over this 55 billion, which is a crazy amount. But you have people like this Harold, even though he's a little bit more even keel, even somebody like him will come up on TV and say something asinine as 55 billion's not a lot of money. But keep this up. I love to see this. I love this strategy that they're putting forward, fighting fraud, but they're fighting to keep fraud. That's the difference. There's fighting for fraud or fighting against fraud. And in the end, Trump is a genius because he has gotten them to go against everything that he's going to do. Be bad, good, or indifferent. It does not matter. Oh, we found all this fraud. Oh, we need to stop this. He's overreaching. That's why they have no case. That's why all these court cases are failing. He is getting fraud out of the government. These people are sick. Trump is the only person that could go into a burning building, kick down a door, and save like 3 children and bring them all out. And people still be like, oh, he didn't ask their permission to go in the building. Is he going to pay for the door that he kicked down? That's how sick these people are. That's how they think. So there is no reasoning when somebody, like I said in the beginning, that will willingly vote for what they just witnessed these last 4 years with the border, Afghanistan, debt, crazy stuff, people laughing at us, endless wars, all of this stuff, and will line up to vote for somebody that said this.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
That tells you everything that you need to know. There is no reasoning with these people, but keep this up. I love to see this. Let's keep, and once that number gets to 500 billion, 600 and more, I want them to keep this same attitude. Like, that's not that big of a deal. So what if we stole all this money? I want them to lay on this hill, and that's a beautiful hill for them to go out on. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to be delivering these videos on the daily basis. It's time to get busy. What a time to be alive. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will catch you guys on the next one.